Hey guys, welcome back to B&B Farms, where our goal is to try and live with our land and not just on it. You know, if you've been following our channel here recently, you've seen us in the maple woods making maple syrup, and you know that the season has drawn to a close. The 2025 maple syrup season is done. It's in the record books, and now it's time to clean up. We've got thousands of feet of tubing in these woods that we've got to get flushed out, and we're going to show you how to do that. So grab your spout puller, come along with me. Let's get this done. This is going to be a multi-day video, so we're not going to get everything done today. But like I said in the intro, it begins with pulling spiles or taps, and that's what this is for. So let's get some of these out of the tree, and we'll let them drain for a week, and then we'll come back and start flushing this out. Here we go. Just put it up, one good pop, boom, it's out. Same thing over here. Put your spout puller on it, one good pop. Comes right out. That hole will heal up. You'll never know it was in there. All right, so we've got all the spiles pulled. Like I said, we're just going to let the spiles hang, let the drop lines dangle, let these lines drain for a few days. And I'm going to pick this video back up and show you how we flush them out. It's going to be a few days for me. It's going to be a few seconds for you. Don't go anywhere. Okay, so a few days have passed. We've got all of the taps removed. We've had the lines or the drops hanging out in the air for almost a week, letting them drain. Now, the next step in the process is to walk every single one of them again and hook those spiles back in their cups. I'll show you what I mean. Take a look. Here's our spile that we removed, and you can see the T into the ladder line has a cup in it. Well, that spile, boy, that one's not wanting to cooperate. That spile is going to go right in that cup. Hard to do one hand. Right like that. So that's going to seal that off. That's one. Only 174 more to go. We better get started. See ya. If I can show you that. See a little bit of gunk in that spile? That's what that warm weather does to that sap. I'll show you how we're going to take care of that here in a minute. All right, I'm pretty sure you guys have got the concept down here. I'm not going to make you watch me tuck all of those in. I'm going to cut the video off here, and I'll bring you back and pick things up when we start the next step in the process. It'd be a good time, you guys. Go get something to drink, grab a sandwich. I'll meet you back here in just a second. All right, you back with that sandwich or that drink? I've got all 175 taps or spiles tucked up into those cups I showed you. And we're back down at the pump shed for the next phase. Take a look at this. You guys have seen all this before. These are the 9 lines that runs up into the woods. All 175 of our taps feed sap down through these lines into this manifold into the pump shed. On the inside of the pump shed, we've got our homemade vacuum releaser. And in order for this cleaning process to work, we need to remove that. And we built that releaser so that everything is quick disconnect, so it shouldn't be any problem getting it all out of there. So let's do that now. We'll remove this discharge hose. We'll clean that up at the house. Unhook the connection to the manifold outside. And unhook all of the valves and float electrical switches. The line to the vacuum pump is unhooked. One more electrical connection to the float switches, and this should be loose, ready to come out of here. Yep, there we go. We'll take that back to the house and clean it all up back there. Next thing we need to do is remove this line that connected the releaser to the manifold outside. To make that a little easier, we will break the connection loose first right here. There we go. If I can do this one-handed, yeah, no problem. And this piece will go back to the house and get cleaned. Next, we have the transfer pump, that pump the sap that releaser. Whew, I can't really talk today, guys. This rain's got me shook up. We have the transfer pump that pump the sap that the releaser dumped in this tray or this tote through this line and up to our sugar house where we stored it in those tanks. So we're going to need this pump to stay here. We need to break that connection right there that goes up the hill. Right like that. So you probably figured out what's getting ready to happen here. We're going to use that transfer pump, wow, that pump the sap up to the sugar house. We're going to reverse it and use it to pump cleaning solution backwards, right back out through this manifold and up these lines to each tree. And we've got a hose that we made up that's going to allow us to make that connection. Very simple. We've taken our cleaning hose, we've attached it to the output of the transfer pump. It runs around, back up to that manifold outside the pump shed. So we'll make this connection back up right here. All right, now we are ready to pump the cleaning solution back up through the lines. So let's get that mixed up. Guys, it's the next day. Several hours have passed. The weather has not been cooperating, but we're going to try and finish this video up and get these lines flushed out. We've got a 5-gallon bucket of some leftover permeate, and to that we are going to add ½ an ounce of calcium hypochlorite. What is calcium hypochlorite? Well, it's a type of bleach, not to be confused with household bleach, with this sodium hypochlorite. We all know bleach is a great disinfectant and can do a pretty good job cleaning. The problem with household bleach or sodium hypochlorite is that when it degrades, it leaves a salt behind, hence, sodium in its name. That salt is attractive to squirrels and mice, and the theory says it will make them chew your lines even more than they normally would. Calcium hypochlorite, when it degrades, does not leave that salty residue behind. So in theory, they shouldn't be attracted to it. So enough talk. Let's get this mixed up. 1/2 ounce of calcium hypochlorite. Just going to mix that in. Give it a quick stir. Can definitely smell the bleach. All right, let's get this down to the pump shed and get it pumped through the lines. Take that transfer pipe out. All right, you probably heard the transfer pump come on automatically. It's on a float system that pumps our sap, up to the sugar house like we talked about. When we added this bleach solution, we raised the float, pump come on. It's now pumping all of this cleaning solution right back up these lines to the individual trees. So you've seen me add the calcium hypochlorite and pump it up through our lateral lines. This particular tap right here is the one that is furthest away from the pump house. Now that SureFlow pump down there is keeping pressure on all these lateral lines right now, keeping that calcium hypochlorite solution under pressure, trying to force it up these lines against the air that's trapped in them. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to pull this spile out, let that relieve some of that pressure, and what should happen is that cleaning solution should work its way up through these lines and come out this spile. Hopefully that's what's going to happen. We'll find out. Definitely had some air on it. That's a pretty yucky looking spile right there. We'll just give it a second, wait, see if it'll pump it up here. All right, so up to now things have gone according to plan. But how does that saying go about the best laid plans of mice and men? Well, right here's where we hit a snag, guys. You know, I have used this method, last year to clean our sap lines. It worked very well. I saw no reason why it wouldn't work this year. But unfortunately, I neglected to take one thing into consideration. We've added more trees, more sap lines going into that manifold I showed you down at the pump station. With the result being that little SureFlow pump cannot pump that fluid up all 9 of those really long lateral lines, not to mention the fact that there is a tremendous amount of elevation here. We're probably climbing, oh goodness, 60, 70 feet in elevation on each one of those, maybe even more. The pump shed's down at the bottom of a ravine, so it just can't do it. I had not taken that into consideration. That's my fault. I apologize for not being able to finish this video in the manner in which I intended, in which I know that you were hoping to see. And I thought about actually just not making this video. But then I realized that things don't always go according to plan. And how we react to it and how we respond to it defines who we are. Now, I've got an idea for how to correct this situation. It involves being able to select one lateral at a time rather than trying to pump all of that cleaning solution up all 9 laterals at the same time. But that's going to have to wait till next year. In the meantime, we still need to get our lines cleaned. We were able to get that cleaning solution up most of the way up the laterals. So I think from here on out, we're going to fall back on what we used to do, which was take a garden pump-up sprayer. Well, I'm sure you guys have probably done the same thing, filled with that calcium hypochlorite solution. And we're going to go to each tree, pull the tap, spray a little bit in it, put it back in its cup, let that solution sit in there for, maybe a week, and then we'll drain it all out and we'll be good to go. It's not the result I had hoped for, but it's the best we're going to be able to come up with. One more thing, that calcium hypochlorite, I failed to mention what that is. Guys, that's pool shock. That same stuff that you put in the swimming pool, at the beginning of the season, that water's all nasty and you dump that pool shock in it and it, turns beautiful, crystal clear. That's what it is. So if you want to try this method, that's what we're using. We've had pretty good luck with it, aside from the pump situation we had this year, and we're going to keep using it. Well, I think that's going to wrap it up. Again, I decided I probably wasn't going to make this video, but I wanted you to see real life. This is how it goes in the sugar bush. Things don't always go according to plan. Guys, I'm going to head to the house. It's actually starting to snow again out here. It's crazy weather this weekend. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Be nice to one another. Get outside. It's good for you. And I'll see you on the next video.